And call this meeting to order. If you could all stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. At this time, is there any public comment?
This is not an agenda item, but it's timely, and several of the elected department officials are here with me. We appreciate very much the consideration that the board has given in the past to the employees of the county as far as step increases and general increases, otherwise referred to as cost of living increases. They've all received that. Since 2016, none of the elected officials have received any type of increase. Not a general increase, not a step increase, not anything. So they've been frozen in time while inflation increased. They were glad to do this. Many of us have people in our departments making more money than we do, which is fine. They deserve it. And the people in Churchill County work very hard and they deserve what they're being paid. We would simply ask that you look at the law in general and interpret it in the light best suited to compensate for this shortfall that the elected officials have received for the past, since 2016. Because it has been quite a burden on many people, and I can speak because, you know, y'all can just give me bread and water and I'll be fine. But it's not quite fair for elected department heads to be not only responsible for their people and the position and the authority and the job requirements of the Nevada Code and Constitution and then not be compensated for that responsibility. So we'd just ask, as you look at it, we would ask that you interpret it in the light most favorable to your other public servants who also are elected, and think about what would be the best way to benefit these people within the law, of course. That's all we're asking. So we would really appreciate that. And one other point I need to make, any decision about salaries and interpreting this bill has to be the decision of the board. You cannot designate that to a committee. You certainly can get recommendations from your staff if you want to. But you can't say, well, the staff said this is what it has to be, so this is what it's going to be. It will be totally your decision to make that. And we'll be glad to offer any help you need, and I'm sure your staff will too. But I would like for that, to keep that in mind. A lot of times, unfortunately, we get caught up in numbers and we don't think about the human factor. So that's simply what we're asking you to do at this time. And I'm speaking on behalf of most of the elected department heads, although some of them might have something they want to add. I won't get into the weeds on this thing because I think there's a lot of discussion that we could have about it. But if you would do that for us, we would be forever grateful and appreciative. I know all of you knew and hadn't known what the public officials had gone through, but also it applies to you too. But then you hadn't gone through the years before where everybody else was getting more and nobody paid attention to public officials. So elected officials. So we would greatly appreciate that and be thankful for you if you would give us that consideration. Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the board.
Thank you, D.A. Mallory. Any other public comment? Okay, can I get a verification of the posting of the agenda, please?
Pam Moore, for the record, the agenda was posted on June 27th between the hours of 2 and 5 at the locations listed on the agenda in accordance with statutes.
Thank you, Pam. This will be a revised agenda with the withdrawal of 6A, 7H, and 9J. And with that, can I get a motion to approve those minutes, or the agenda as submitted, revised?
Mr. Chair, I move for approval of the agenda as revised.
Mr. Chairman, I make a second on the motion.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye, motion carries. 6, consideration and possible action, approval of the minutes of the meeting held on May 1st, 2025. Can I get a motion for those minutes, please?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes as submitted for the meeting held on May the 1st, 2025.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye, motion carries. Our first appointment, 7A, consideration and possible action, adoption of Resolution 8-2025, declaring certain equipment of the Churchill County Sheriff's Office as surplus property and authorizing the disposal of said property in any manner. Joe?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is Joe Sanford for the record. NRS requires that any time we dispose of property that this board has the opportunity to have a resolution declaring that property to be surplus and no longer of value to the county. These are a list of items and vehicles for the most part from the Sheriff's Office that are no longer of value to the Churchill County and we'd like to dispose of.
Thank you. Joe, any questions or comments from board or staff? Is there any public comment? If none, a motion, please.
Mr. Chair, I would move to adopt Resolution 8-2025 as presented.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a second to the motion.
All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye, motion carries. 7B, consideration possible action, request for funding to support the Fallon Junior Rodeo in the amount of $3,000. Chris?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Chris Bross for the record. This is an application to continue funding for the Fallon Junior Rodeo. This application has been reviewed by the county manager for completion of the required materials and has been found to be eligible for funding. The board has provided support to the Fallon Junior Rodeo for several years. In 2013 and 2015, $1,000 was provided by the county. And from 2017 to 2021, the county's provided $2,500. In 2023, the county provided $3,000 due to a request to cover an increased cost of saddles. And in 2024, the county provided $2,070 due to a 31% budget reduction in the miscellaneous grants line item. This year, the miscellaneous grants line item for the community support budget was funded with a 56.4% reduction for fiscal year 25-26. And as a result of that, by applying the 56.4% to the $3,000 request, that would equate to $1,307.49. Now, obviously, the board can determine to grant more or less funding than what is being requested, and that is up to the board to decide. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions, and anybody from the Junior Rodeo here would like to present, please do so.
It'll be the little red button at the bottom of those microphones.
Hello, Commissioners, and thank you for your time today. My name is Eva Brown, and I am a contestant of the Fallon Junior Rodeo. Our hometown has been a staple in our community since before my mom was a kid, which was a long time ago. The Fallon Junior Rodeo is my favorite rodeo, and it brings contestants from all over Nevada and California.
Hello, Commissioners. I am proud to be your 2024-2025 Fallon Junior Rodeo Queen. My name is Miley Macedo. Our rodeo typically brings more than 200 contestants and their families to Fallon for the 3-day event. We have submitted a request for $3,000 to help put on our rodeo. We invite you all to come to our rodeo this year, Labor Day weekend. We kick off our event with the Queen Contest Friday evening at 5 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners. I'm just going to follow up, but my name is Whitney. I am the Queen Contest Director for the Fallon Junior Rodeo. This is the biggest rodeo that these kids pretty much go to all year long. In those 200 contestants that Eva spoke about, They're bringing camping to the fairgrounds. They're eating here. They are staying in motels. They're bringing funds to our community. They attend the Fallon Junior Rodeo because this is the stiffest competition they will get all year long, and we give the best prizes. We give first place buckles and prizes to sixth, and then each age group gets an all-around saddle as well. Fallon is the gold standard when it comes to prizes, and it brings families back year after year. So we sincerely appreciate your consideration for donating. And like Miley said, we would like to invite everybody here to come out to our rodeo. It's every Labor Day weekend. We kick off Friday at 5 p.m. with our Queen contest, and then 8 a.m. the next 2 days for the rodeo. So these are some impressive cowboys and cowgirls. I hope you guys all get a chance to come watch them. And with that, I can answer any questions.
Thank you, Whitney. Any questions or comments from board or staff? Is there any public comment? A motion, please.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to approve the funding for the Fallon Junior Rodeo in the amount of $1,307.49.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye, motion carries. Thank you guys for your presentation. Oh, yes, photo. We'll jump to 7C, consideration of possible action, ratification of agreement with CSH and Churchill County Social Services for a no-cost extension of the Medicaid Technical Assistance Contract to August 31st, 2025. Shannon?
Good morning, Mr. Chair and members of the board. For the record, Shannon Ernst, Churchill County Social Services. So last spring, we contracted with CSH as a request of the state of Nevada Department of Health and Human Services to do a pilot project to evaluate the county becoming Medicaid eligible for billable across the board. This is something no other county has done. Through this contract, they have evaluated each department as to what services we provide are currently eligible, what services could potentially be eligible, and then they're coming up with how much it would cost for the county to implement such a program. This project was supposed to be completed by May 30th. We need to extend until August just because we've ran behind. It is a lot. There's been a lot of Medicaid changes, and we wanted to make sure to include those as this has gone through the federal government. So today it's just a ratification for a no-cost extension until August.
Thank you, Shannon. Any questions or comments from board or staff? Is there any public comment? A motion, please.
Mr. Chair, I would move to approve and ratify the contract extension as presented.
Mr. Chairman, I make a second to the motion.
All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye, motion carries. 7D, consideration of possible action, approval of an agreement with Emma White and Churchill County to support and help coordinate Churchill County's suicide prevention initiatives within the community. Shannon?
Again, for the record, Shannon Ernst, Churchill County Social Services. Over the past year and a half, we completed a suicide prevention and behavioral health plan, really for the community to outline how we can engage to build awareness about the impact suicide is having in our community and how to increase supports. Within the school, they have expanded training, things of that nature. The plan put forward 3 priority groups, and we meet actually every month to discuss how we can implement different parts of the plan. The state was a huge part of this for the Office of Suicide Prevention, and Emma White was one of their contractors that was coming out and providing this training and helping support us.
As of July 1, their funding was cut. And so they are losing all of those trainers. So this is a huge concern, not only for social services, our community members, but the city and the school district. So I did meet with Superintendent Parsons and I met with Mayor Tedford to discuss what we could potentially do. And we feel that it would benefit us to contract with Emma White to maintain our plan and continue the work and training. The city, is willing to split this contract 50%. I do have the funds for mental health in my budget already allocated and approved in fiscal year 26 for such activities. Also, we have another item coming forward with our marijuana tax revenue fund that is allocating funds to community members. The school district has taken a reduction of $5,000 to help support this contract if approved today. If there's any questions, I can answer.
Thank you, Shannon. Any questions or comments from board or staff?
Mr. Chairman, I'd just like to comment that thank you for not allowing this program to, at least asking for it today.
Thank you.
It's important to our community.
Yes.
Is there any public comment? If none, a motion, please.
Mr. Chairman, I motion to approve the agreement as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye, motion carries. 7E, consideration and possible action, ratification of a salon lease agreement between Churchill County Social Services and Sandra Burrell for a lease of one beauty shop station at the William N. Pennington Life Center for the amount of $400 per month. Shannon?
Again, for the record, Shannon Ernst, Churchill County Social Services. Annually, we rent out actually booths within the salon at the William and Pennington Life Center. This is a valuable service for the individuals that visit there, and other community members do come. She provides different salon services at a reduced cost for our seniors and disabled. So we do have this lease for $400 that'll go back into the Life Center revenue to help support expenses for that shop to be there. We are going to be doing upgrades this year. It was approved in the fiscal year 26 budget because we need to maintain compliance with that booth. Our goal is once those upgrades happen, we will actually try to rent out the second booth. If there's any question, I can answer.
Any questions or comments from board or staff? Is there any public comment? Okay, a motion, please.
Mr. Chair, I would move to approve the salon lease agreement as presented and to authorize the chair to execute the lease.
Mr. Chairman, I make a second to the motion.
All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye, motion carries. 7F, consideration possible action, approval of funding to the Churchill County School District in the amount of $20,200 and the Churchill Community Coalition in the amount of $19,500 to support positive mental health and substance abuse education for youth and community residents from RO 92-17A and opioid settlement funds. Shannon?
Again, for the record, Shannon Ernst, Churchill County Social Services. When we received the RO 92 fund, this was a marijuana tax revenue. As you know, we do not have dispensaries here, so we receive a very limited amount, approximately $88,000 a year. Prior to December 2022, this item went before the County Board of Health. And when the board was abolished, when the Central Nevada Health District was implemented, it starts coming to the commission. The goal of this fund was really to put it back into the community and support our programs in the county that represent the marijuana tax fund, right? How do we reduce use of substances in our community and build that awareness? So we did build a campaign, and the Churchill Community Coalition provides Too Good for Drugs and also the mindfulness program in the school. So we're asking to maintain their level of funding of $19,500 to support that program. In addition, the Churchill Community School District, we've had an issue with gaps in counseling and meeting the needs for our youth. And so they had worked with, it was a pilot project, I can't even tell you how many years ago we started, with UNR interns for their social work program to come down. And we first did it in the high school, then we expanded to the junior high, then into the middle schools. Well, that program now is not being able to come out, and so they have revised their request to us this year that they will contract with New Frontier Behavioral Health Center instead to provide those counseling support so we do not lose it. That goal of that program is if a youth is in crisis at school, then they can see a counselor immediately. They continue to work with them until they can find a community provider for them. And so it's filling those gaps. So today, I'm asking that we do provide funding to these agencies retroactive to July 1.
Thank you, Shannon. Any questions or comments from board or staff? Is there any public comment? If none, a motion, please.
Mr. Chair, I'd move to approve the contracts as recommended and authorize the Director of Social Services to execute the same.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a second to the motion.
All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye, motion carries. Thank you for your time,
Thank
Shannon.
you.
7G, consideration and possible action, approval of a deed transferring real property located at 170 Southeast Street, Fallon, Nevada, APN 001-545-03 to the city of Fallon. Joe?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Joe Sanford for the record. This is a cleanup item. A number of years ago, the county had agreed with the city to exchange some property, specifically the old senior center and this parking lot for the cottage schools. The old senior property was transferred, as well as the cottage schools, but this parking lot was not, and so this deed effectuates that transfer.
Thank you, Joe. Any questions or comments from board or staff? Is there any public comment? If none, a motion, please.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve and direct the commission chair to sign the deed as presented.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye, motion carries. 7H was withdrawn. Does anyone want to pull any of the letters received? Okay, we'll jump to new business. 9A, consideration of possible action, appointment of Chris Spross to serve on the RTC, the Western Nevada Regional Youth Center Board, as an alternative on the Carson Water Subconservancy District and the Central Nevada Regional Water Authority to replace Jim Barbie effective July 7th, 2025. Joe?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Again, Joe Sanford for the record. There are a number of boards that our county manager has been appointed to serve as the representative of the county. As Jim Barbie has now retired, effectuated, I think actually earlier this week, and then Chris Spross will be effectively appointed July 7th of 2025. I'm asking that you have him appointed effective as of that date to all of the boards that Jim used to be a part of, except for the Health District, which Jim will maintain.
Thank you, Joe. Any questions or comments from board or staff? Any public comment? A motion, please.
Mr. Chairman, make a motion to appoint Chris Spross to serve on the Regional Transportation Commission, to the Western Nevada Regional Youth Center Board, and as an alternate member on the Carson Water Subconservancy District and the Central Nevada Regional Water Authority to replace Jim Barbie effective July 7th, 2025.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye, motion carries. 7B, consideration of possible action, adoption of Resolution 9-2025, assigning an additional portion of the ad valorem tax levy for cooperative extension for fiscal year 2025-2026 in the sum of 1 cent, making a total of 2 cents. Sherry?
Thank you. This is basically, taxation requires us to do this. It's the same rate as they had last year. They're required to have a 1 cent tax by NRS, and then we can also give them more, and the board has decided to give them the 2 cents. So this is just requesting the resolution on that, please.
Thank you, Sherry. Any questions or comments from board or staff? Is there any public comment? Before I jump to a motion, I just wanted to give clarification for my other two commissioners here. We did this 2 years ago, Sherry, or 1 year ago?
2 years ago, we went up 1.5, and then we went up to 2 last year. In the fiscal year we just finished, and now this is a repeat of last year.
And so this is giving us a couple of additional ag extension officers down at the FSA office here in Fallon, so just so you two are aware of what that is for and why we do that. So with that, a motion, please.
Mr. Chair, I would move to adopt Resolution 9-2025, assigning an additional portion of the ad valorem tax levy in support of cooperative extension for fiscal year 25-26, and directing the comptroller to include in the final budget to the Department of Taxation as required by Nevada revised statute.
Mr. Chairman, I make a second of the motion.
All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye, motion carries. 9C, consideration and possible action, approval of Resolution 10-2025, adopting and certifying Churchill County's tax rate for the fiscal year 2025-2026. Sherry?
Thank you. This is another resolution. The Department of Taxation approved the tax rates on the 26th of June. And so this is just a resolution that approves the tax rate that you've already approved within the budget. Thank you.
Thank you, Sherry. Any questions or comments from board or staff? Any public comment? If none, a motion, please.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to adopt the resolution 10-2025, certifying the combined tax rate for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2025 and ending June 30th, 2026 as submitted.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye, motion carries. 9D, consideration of possible action, publication of a summary fiscal report as required by NAC 354-561. Sherry?
This is just to be noted in the minutes that it was published before July 1st, and it was. Thank you.
Do we need action on that then?
No.
No? Information only? Okay. 9E, consideration of possible action, approval of the pay tables for fiscal year 2025-2026. Chris?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the board. Chris Ross for the record. So the pay tables are approved by the commission each fiscal year to provide direction on the direct rates of pay for all the Churchill County employees. The pay tables for fiscal year 25-26 reflect a general adjustment of 3.625 with a reduction of the employees' PERS increase match of 1.625, effectively netting a 2% increase over the previous year for all general employees. For law enforcement, there was an increase of 6.375 general adjustment with a reduction of the employees' PERS increase match of 4.375, again, effectively netting a 2% increase over the previous year for all general law enforcement employees. The represented employees, the dispatchers, and the sergeants and deputies, those wages have already been approved by this board as part of the collective bargaining agreements. These are the balance to all the other general employees. These pay tables further include the new election technician position for the clerk treasurer's office, the wage rate changes associated with the restructuring of the recordation clerk positions within the recorder's office, and also the reclassification of the captain's wages in the sheriff's office. And as a note, and not included in the pay tables, in the 83rd session of the Nevada Legislature, Senate Bill 116 was signed into law, which revises NRS 245.043, which increases the base salary for elected officers effective July 1st of this year. The district attorney, the sheriff, the clerk treasurer, the assessor, and the recorder's base salaries in effect for the fiscal year 2018-2019 is to be adjusted for each fiscal year starting with the fiscal year 2019-2020 and ending in the fiscal year 2024-25 by compounding the annual percentage increase in the CPI index for all urban consumers, the Western region, or 3% above the highest paid employee supervised by the elected official on January 1st, 2025, whichever amount is higher. That's to be the new base salary. So just for your information, and obviously no action is to be taken on this as it is law, the new base salaries are as follows. The county commissioners are $36,000 per year. The clerk treasurer is $107,818 a year. The recorder is $107,818 a year. The assessor is $107,818 a year. The district attorney is $177,808.22 per year, and the sheriff is $135,738 per year. Again, that is the base salary. On top of that base salary, their tenure in the time that they have been in that elected official will be added to that. That's just the revised base salary. The fiscal impact of all that is $280,000, a little over $280,000, $185,210, which is salaries, and then just under $95,000 is benefits. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions you have.
Thank you, Chris. Any questions or comments from board or staff? Is there any public comment?
Denise Felton, Churchill County Assessor for the record. SB 116 was passed and effective for fiscal year 25-26, but there are three parts to that. The first part did bring the 3% for subordinates that were making more than the elected officials. The second portion uses the CPI through 24-25 to bring it to current. There's no CPI for 25 yet. But there is a fourth part, Section 4 says that the Board of County Commissioners annually can provide a 2% increase for the elected officials. That way we keep in pace with the other departments and the other employees. So I just wanted to point out that there are three parts to that revised statute. Thanks.
Thank you. Any other public comment? Okay, with that, a motion, please.
Mr. Chairman, I just want to clarify something to her comment. The way I understood that law is each year, the county commission would maybe have a discussion item to decide if we're going to do the 2%, and then we go from there each year to make that decision, right?
Just like how we do, from my understanding, Joe, interrupt me if I'm wrong here. From my understanding, it's just like when it'd be during budget cycle, and we'd say, as a board, we want to give all elected officials and appointed a 2% increase.
So the language in the bill says annually or at any time chosen by the board. And so it's very much within your power. However you choose to do it, I think that had been the expectation, but it is up to this board how you choose to do it.
So with that said, when he says annually, it's like, are we approving that it's going to happen annually every year if we do something today? Or do we address it on an annual basis?
You would be addressing it on an annual basis. You wouldn't be able to choose for the next elected official what they're going to approve in a future date. But you could choose to do it at any time that you choose.
That's all.
Any other questions or comments? If none, a motion, please.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the pay tables for fiscal year 2025 to 2026 as submitted, which reflect a general adjustment for the regular county employees of 2%.
Mr. Chairman, I make a second to the motion.
All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye, motion carries. 9F, consideration of possible action, notification of the budget impacts associated with the Sheriff's Office, Clerk, Treasurer, and Recorder position reclassification, as well as other department budget impacts related to payroll. Chris?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the board. Chris Spross for the record. Excuse me. This is really a cleanup item. At the last meeting, I presented to you the restructure positions within the clerk treasurer's office, as well as the new election technician. And at that time, it was my responsibility to provide a little more detail, which I failed to do. And so this is kind of cleaning up that approval that you have already made and which has already been included, excuse me, in this year's fiscal budget. It's just typically we outline this a little bit better. So this is just kind of a cleanup of that item, and really just kind of outlining the costs that were associated with that are already included in the budget. And with that, I'll just go through a few of them. The Sheriff's Office is restructuring the two captains' wages from a grade 77A Step 2 and Step 3 to a grade 77A Step 5 and Step 6 respectively. That results in a cost impact of around a little over $11,000. The Recorder's Office is restructuring the recordation positions from a senior recordation clerk and a recordation clerk to a recordation clerk and a recordation clerk trainee respectively. The recordation clerk position will change from a grade 39 to a grade 43, and that results in a cost impact of, $2,756. For a total, and then if you add the benefits to that, that's a total of $3,843. The Clerk Treasurer's Office has eliminated the Deputy Clerk Treasurer's position and replaced it with the Election Technician position, which again was approved at a previous meeting. This new position will be placed at grade 47, Step 1. That results in a total cost impact of $6,503. The District Attorney's Office, the reclassification of the vacant position to be hired as a Deputy District 2. If you recall, several meetings ago, because of our difficulty in filling those positions, we had asked that we can advertise or we can recruit as a 2 as opposed to a 1, and that was approved, so that's just cleaning that up. The district court clerk has got a reclassification of the court clerk trainee to an actual court clerk. Parks and Recreation put in $1,000 into their budget for other salary and wages for overtime. The Public Works Planning and Building Department, they budgeted $1,140 for the 3 planning commissioners to meet for an hour 1 week before each meeting. And then finally, social services, they also had dollars in their budget to retain the intern that they've had for the previous year. And then finally, social services added $221 in standby tie. There is no fiscal impact over and above what is already in the budget. This is just more of detail to bring that to your attention to what those reclassifications actually were. So I don't want there to be any confusion that we're trying to add more money to the budget, or this is outside of what has already been approved. So with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Chris. Any questions or comments from board or staff? Okay, we'll jump to 9G, consideration of possible action, reappointment of Carla Pomeroy to the TDR Sending Site Review Committee for another 3-year term through June 30th, 2028. Chris?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So the Churchill County Sending Site Review Committee, they review all of the transfer of the development right applications. They evaluate the local entity comments that come in, the conservation easement deeds, the proposed restrictions, verifies the TDRs. And then the committee provides a report and a recommendation to the Planning Commission. Carla Pomeroy was appointed to the Sending Site Review Committee on June 19th, 2019, and she's indicated that she's interested in continuing to serve. She's serving as one of the agricultural representative positions on the committee, and since she meets the qualifications, has the experience, and provides a good balance to the committee, the staff recommends that she be appointed to serve another 3-year term on the TDR. That 3-year term would be effective from July 1st, 2025 to June 30th, 2028.
Thank you, Chris. Any questions or comments from board or staff? Is there any public comment? If none, a motion, please.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to reappoint Carla Pomeroy to serve another 3-year term on the TDR Sending Site Review Committee effective July the 1st, 2025 to June 30th, 2028.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye, motion carries. 9H, consideration of possible action, reappointment of Jason Sibley to the Churchill County Advisory Board to manage wildlife for a term effective July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2028. Chris?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Chris Spross for the record. So the county advisory boards to manage wildlife are appointed by the county commissioners from all 17 of the Nevada counties to serve 3-year terms. The county advisory boards to manage wildlife are responsible for advising the Nevada Wildlife Commission, particularly with the setting of seasons and limits for their respective counties. The CBAs advise the Wildlife Commission by gathering the information from area sports persons and local input through meetings in their respective counties. The members on the boards should be selected with the intent to provide representation from a cross-section of the county to ensure that all major viewpoints are examined and that any faction or special interest group does not dominate the advisory board. Nevada Revised Statute, NRS 501.297 through 501.303 governs the county advisory boards to manage the wildlife. Jason Sibley was appointed to the board to manage wildlife on July 6, 2017, to fill an expired term that ran through June 30th, 2019. He was reappointed for 2 more full terms and has expressed a desire to continue serving. The chair of the County Advisory Board to Manage Wildlife, Peggy Hughes, has expressed a desire to have Mr. Sibley appointed to another term. That term, again, will be from July 1st, 2025 through June 30th of 2028.
Thank you, Chris. Any questions or comments from board or staff? Any public comment? Okay, a motion, please.
Mr. Chair, I move to reappoint Jason Sibley to serve a 3-year term on the Churchill County Advisory Board to manage wildlife, effective July 1, 2025 through June 30th, 2028.
Mr. Chairman, make a second on the motion.
All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye, motion carries. 9I, consideration of possible action, reappointment of Ava Case, Gary Imelli, and Bob Frankie to the Churchill County Parks and Recreation Commission for terms commencing on July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2029. Chris?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Chris Spross for the record. So the Churchill County Parks and Recreation Commission is a board appointed by the Board of County Commissioners. authorized and directed to make recommendations and advise the county commission regarding matters related to Churchill County Park and Recreation facilities and programs per NRS 248. The Parks and Recreation Commission is comprised of seven members, one of whom shall be a member of the Churchill County Board of County Commissioners, and one whom shall be a member of the Board of Trustees of the Churchill County School District, with the remaining 5 members appointed by the Churchill County Board of Commissioners. The term of all commissioners shall be for 4 years. And then again, members Ava Case, Gary Amelli, and Bob Franke have submitted emails indicating their desire to be reappointed to another term. The county manager and Facilities, Parks, and Recreation Director reviewed the emails and discussed the current composition of the Parks and Recreation Commission. Recommendation is being made to reappoint Ava Case, Gary Amelli, and Bob Franke to another 4-year term, with consideration that the applicants have a clear understanding of their duties and responsibilities related to this position.
Thank you, Chris. Any questions or comments from board or staff? Is there any public comment? A motion, please.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to reappoint Ava Case, Gary Amiley, Bob Franke to another term on the Churchill County Parks and Recs Commission effective July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2029.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye, motion carries. 9J was removed from this agenda. Did anyone want to pull anything off the consent agenda? If none, a motion to approve that, please.
Mr. Chair, I move for approval of consent agenda items as presented.
Mr. Chairman, make a second of the motion.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye, motion carries. Does anyone have anything they want to consider for a future agenda item? Okay, seeing none, we'll jump to Commissioner and Management Staff reports. We'll start with you, Commissioner Hyde.
Nothing at this time.
Commissioner Blakey.
We attended the Planning Commission and the Board of County Commissioners workshop to update the industrial zoning districts, which is going to be very positive for our county. Attended Jim Barbie's retirement send-off, attended Mitch Young's retirement send-off, and had a 2-day workshop to create a new strategic plan for the museum, which is very successful, I think. At this time, I'd like to congratulate Mr. Chris Spross as our new county manager. I believe I can say on behalf of this commission, we look forward to working with and supporting Mr. Spross while he implements our visions and goals as we all continue moving Churchill County forward. I'd also like to encourage all the county staff and the citizens to embrace our new leadership team here with us as newly elected commissioners and our new county manager as an opportunity to build new relationships and form an undefeatable team that will make Churchill County a new destination for many and continue to be a cherished place to live. That's all I have.
Thank you. Ida Library Board meeting. Just so everyone's aware, our library director resigned from her position, so we're looking for an interim library director if you know of anyone. I also had a NACO meeting, as well as a Central Nevada Regional Water Authority meeting, as well as a Carson Subwater Conservancy District meeting. And that's all I have. Sherry?
Just rolling into the new year. Happy New Year. Thank you.
Thank you, Sherry. Joe?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just for the board's information, I've been working with the planning department. They've been having some issues with their code enforcement, trying to get people to comply. So you may see some additional work coming our way in terms of having additional fees and enforcement related to fines for folks who have been non-compliant for a significant period of time. Thanks.
Mr. Chair, I do have one thing. I had a Parks and Rec meeting, and something caught my eye with a BOR easement that we're having issues with. So I'm going back to future agenda items. I'd like an update on that.
Okay, well, whoever's going to be taking that one on, we'll put that on there.
Okay, and I
Chris
would
has got
also
it.
like to just welcome Chris. Kind of forgot that this will be the last meeting as a assistant county manager. We're lucky to have him. I think he's going to be a great leader at the spear point of this, especially with what we have moving forward. He's got extensive knowledge in huge projects, bigger projects than we even have on the books. And I appreciate his his background in, the private sector. Sometimes I feel like government needs to run a little bit more like a private sector as far as how things are done. So I'm looking forward to working for him. I have the utmost faith in him. And welcome, Chris. Not quite yet, but this is the last meeting we'll have, and then you'll take that seat officially. Thank you.
Chris, mic's all yours.
Well, thank you for the kind words. I'm looking forward to the position. I'm excited about it. I enter the position with excitement and a tinge of trepidation, but I think that's good to have a little nervousness about a new position. I look forward to working with everybody that I've been working with over these last 5 years, and I really think that we can make a difference in this community. So thanks again for the kind words. A couple of things. It's been a unique week. I attended 3 retirement parties, which in a period of 1 week is a lot. I, as several of the commissioners, went to Jim's retirement party, as well as Mitch Young's. And then we had Larry Joby retire out of the Life Center. So we went to that retirement party as well. Thank everybody for their dedicated service that they've put in with the county, and look forward to working with the new people to take those positions. That's all I had. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Linda?
I'll piggyback on Sherry and Happy New Year. This is a new fiscal year, so I billed $22.7 million in property taxes and $3.5 million of special assessments that's added on to that. Our 25-26 property tax bills are already on our website, so you can go pay as your leisure. Tax bills are scheduled, the actual paper tax bill will be scheduled Monday to be mailed. We're just proofing stuff now. So that's 12,366 parcels. That's all I have.
Thank you, Linda. Pam?
I just wanted to note the passing of former Commissioner Buzz Sharman. What a great champion he was for our community.
Major asset to our community and really helped me get my feet on the ground in this position. DA Mallory?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The grant position appears to be transferring very smoothly, and we appreciate your consideration on that. Thank you. That's it.
You might just want to keep it. Denise, you have anything you want to add?
We closed the tax roll, Linda billed it, so everybody can get paid now.
Very nice. Sheriff Hickox?
It's been a minute since I've briefed you guys, and so I apologize for that. Sheriff Hickox for the record. During the interim, since the last brief that I gave you guys to now, we have had an audit at the sheriff's office from the state, and we just got the notice that everything was all clear and we were good to go, and that was with our CJIS records. We are still working towards an CJIS modernization project, but the delay is not on our part, it's on the state's. We are ready to go whenever they decide to finally kick that door open and say, here we go. So we're just waiting on them. We are still waiting on Spectrum for almost a year now, to put TV back in the jail after CCCOM quit providing that service. We went with Spectrum, and we wish CCCOM was back in the business because we're not having much luck with Spectrum. We had a multi-agency active shooter drill the other day and training, and we had our state auditor come down for the grant. She was extremely pleased with the training, the quality of training. She actually participated and sent us some videos of the training and said that based off of what she saw, it opens us up for some more funding. And so we're very excited about that opportunity. So we just got to figure out how that funding fits into what our mission is, and then we'll find out and come before you guys with that plan to try and get those funds. Are there any questions that you guys have for me about what's gone on at the sheriff's office over the last couple of months?
Okay, thank you, Sheriff. Any questions?
I just have one question. Going back to the Charter Spectrum, have you guys thought about using an over-the-top service?
We have, and actually, that's been a couple of considerations points because of the delay with Spectrum and getting any kind of movement forward with them. We did sign a contract with them, but because of the lack of movement forward, the conversation yesterday was to maybe speak with Joe in regards to lack of movement on their part, maybe being a breach of that contract and going someplace else because we're not getting much traction there.
Excellent. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Any other questions?
You're doing a great job.
Glad you're back with us.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Tasha? Okay. Claims and payroll are going around. Is there any public comment at this time? Okay, we stand adjourned. Thank you, everyone.